Hi guys, this is how to play Beauty and the Beast. This is my own arrangement, but it is very much based on the one from the film. I saw the film recently, thought it was great, and I thought I would teach this one. To get the tab accurate to exactly what I'm showing you here, and this is a long lesson, you're going to want to check out the one that's on my website, andyguitar.co.uk, links there in the top corner and in the description. The full arrangement, the way that I'm showing you here, is available in tab for $2.99, which is about £1.99 sterling, and it's that price because we're going super in depth in this one. So I hope you enjoy this lesson. Let's get straight in for the close-up. Beauty and the Beast. So this is a slightly easier arrangement than the one that is in the film, the new film, but we will need capo 3rd fret so that you can be in tune with that version. And this isn't too difficult, although it is very long. But we've not got a complex picking pattern here. It's fairly simple. And any time that we're playing the melody, anything like that, I've taken away the bass note, which makes it a lot easier for beginners. So let's get stuck into this. The first line is just the intro, which we start by playing a C chord, and then the second chord, the F sus2/C, is just with the middle finger off and the little finger goes down. So C, and then the little finger goes down, okay? C, middle finger off, little finger down. And we begin by setting our fingers up so that the thumb is on the root note of the C chord, string 5. 1, 2, 3 underneath the thinnest 3 strings. And let me move that light a little bit so you can see better. There we go. And the middle finger begins looking at the same time as the thumb. String 5 and string 2. Then we play first finger, thumb, first finger on the middle 2 strings, which is a recurring pattern through this song. And after doing that just the once, we need to keep the other fingers down, but we're going to move the first finger and little finger to play the melody, which is a skill unto itself, and that skill we'll be covering in my Fingerstyle course coming in September. That's one of the main things that we look at, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's such an important skill. So the first bar, the pattern we've just learnt, with the little finger, or the third finger, sorry, open first, and then middle finger, 3rd fret, or the 2nd string, having the little finger down over there, back to the open, just to show you those notes, and then we pluck the root note again, but this time we're going to move the first finger to string down to play 1, 3 and 3. On this part, the melody is da 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 da. For the second half, it's exactly the same for the next 2 bars, bars 3 and 4. Just finishing slightly different. In total, we have 3, 4. Now you want to spend a good deal of time making sure this is correct, because everything that we're doing there is repeated throughout the song. Maybe it uses lower notes, you know, the next line is, you know, so as old as time. Very similar. It's all about basically playing a C major scale while holding down this C chord, which is what we'll be looking at in the fingerstyle course. So one recap through that intro, and then we'll move on to the verse. 3, 4. Little finger. Again, trying to keep that first finger and third finger down so they ring out. Such a key concept with fingerstyle. Okay, the verse. Let me show you first of all. So, we have a melody, bar 5 and bar 7 are basically the same. Exactly the same, in fact. One more time. Playing the open to 1. Tale as old as. And then time. We move to the same F sus2/C chord, playing the string 3 and the root note, but we have to play this one twice, which is weird, but that's so we're playing the melody. Tale as old as time. So I do that one with my middle finger, and then swap to the first. You could just keep using the first if you wanted. Bar 7 on the tab that we're following here. Exactly the same. And then bar 8, we swap to the G chord, but it's the fingerstyle G. So we're playing it with this fashion. The middle finger's not being played, but we use the same shape. And little finger on string 3. Third finger on string 6, both at the 3rd fret. Oh, little finger on string 2, sorry, fret 3. There. Okay. And that's 2 and 5 as a pair. And so that line one more time. This is repeated, I think, about 5 times in the song as a total, so spending a good deal of time just on this line 2 is well worth your time, because there's such repetition in this song, and I've tried to make that clear by saying verse, chorus, you know, things like that. I might even use colour to try and show the repetition more easily so that you don't get scared that it's a big long piece. Let's give it a go. 3, 4, from bar 5. Bar 7. So as I say, if this is taking a good long time, you have to re-watch that section to get it. No bad thing at all, because it's repeated so often it is well worth your time. If after this next section you feel this is a little bit beyond you at the moment, I highly recommend checking out some of my other fingerstyle songs, or you know, looking out for that course that's coming in September, because we're really going through a lot of these patterns, a lot of the principles of playing a scale with the major scale. But we're going to move on now to bar 9, Barely Even Friends. I think it's well worth doing that. So that's the first 5 notes of a major scale from C here, from the higher octave of C. And if we're using that with correct fingering, now I think about it, we want the middle finger and then the third finger, sorry. And the rest of it is just the same pattern as the bar above. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a major scale. And that's the easier arrangement of this. We're trying to keep the other strings ringing out, but we're just playing really one note at a time when we're playing the melody. That's going to be played on its own, okay? So that's bar 9, which we've just covered. E minor, we need the 7, so we need the little, well, it's really just an E minor. We don't have the third finger on actually, but we need the little finger here to play the melody. And we hit the thumb on string 6. Very similar pattern as before. No third finger down there, it's just 1, 2, and a little finger on the thinnest string. Bar 10. Melody coming back down the same way as you went up. Okay, by the time we get to that note, da 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 da, C major scale, same way as you went up. We're going to hit the thumb over the top and we're going to play this kind of F major 7, but we're also going to add an F in the bass. And then we move, try and keep the other fingers down. So the first finger is going to move, but fingers 2, 3, 4 and the root note all stay there. One, 2, 3, 4 of a major scale, and then to G. Yeah, let's change this pattern slightly so the thumb gets involved a little bit earlier, because that note is the melody. Unexpectedly. And then a little pattern that I've added, if you can't do this next bit, just fill out the rest of the bar just with the thumb and the first finger. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that would be simpler. But I really like this next move, which goes... It's a move I learned from not Songbird. It's a move I learned from Eva Cassidy. Okay, that's from Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I can't remember exactly which bit. Recap of that line. The second line after that is exactly the same. So bars 13 to 16 are exactly the same as the line above until towards the end of bar 16, okay? So just a recap, we're on bar 13, 3, 4. Just a little change. Say the least. That's exactly the same as bar 5 to 8 so far. This next bit is a really cool little move that I came up with to give the impression of the chord sequence underneath it without it being too difficult. Okay? So here we have a passing note from what would be a G note, G sharp, playing the melody, and then we're going to go to an A minor, okay? So fingering's not that important, you could stick with the third finger. What are we on there? So bar 16 on its own. If you can't do that with that note there, just don't play it. Play the other ones. If you ever can't play a bass note in this, don't play it, just play the melody, and then add the bass note at another time. 100% the way forward for this particular piece. So, both a little scared. Scared is bar 17. change into this kind of fingerstyle G, but we're keeping the first finger here. So this G in bar 17 is basically like a C, but with your second and third finger moved up one. Neither one free, so both a little scared. Neither one free. And then we're hitting the F. If you can hit the bass as well in the thumb, great. Again, if you can't do that, add the bass note afterwards in this particular piece so that you can do it. So, both a little scared, neither one prepared. Switching the first finger here to play the melody again. And that one's going to be open actually. And then we play Beauty and the Beast. Exactly the same as the intro, okay? You're noticing the repetition surely by now. If you've really hammered those first two lines, bar 1 to 8, these extra parts shouldn't be too difficult, but certainly bar 16 to 18 are the trickiest we've done so far. So let's have a go from 16. This was B small, to say the least. Both a little scared, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast. Okay? So from bar 19, we'll be covering that bit again later in this song because it's repeated exactly the same. So we're going to move on. If you need to, pause this video now and get it to there. We're on the middle 8 section now, which doesn't change too much. There's still a lot of repetition, but it requires you to really have solidly, or at least to be able to play through it at a very slow tempo, you know. That would be ample, and even if it's slower than that, totally fine. Get the notes right first. This isn't too much about the pattern, it's about the melody. But from the middle 8. That's bar 19 into the first half of bar 20. Second half of bar 20. This is exactly the same as bo da 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 da. It's going to be exactly the same as what we've done before. Let me see where that is repeated exactly. Barely even friends at bar 9 and 10. Exactly the same as that, okay, in the middle 8, but we're actually on bar 20, from the start of bar 20. So what did we do there? We played the major scale up to E minor like we did before, but we're going to add an extra thumb in this one because it is quite easy now. And then to A minor, standard A minor. At the start of we are also hitting the bass note again. So 2 bass notes on bars, on beat 1 and then on beat 3. So from bar 22. Now this is really a slide, this next one. It would be exactly the same, but we've got this slide from third fret to 5th fret with the little finger. To do that, you've got to lift off any other fingers that you've got down. But straight away then, we're back to this E minor. Because we're only playing these strings, you don't even need the first 2 fingers down really. Sometimes I keep them down when we don't need them. It sort of reminds everyone, including myself, what chord we're actually on, what chord are you playing. But take them off if you want to rest them if you want. Okay, so from the start of middle 8, from bar 19, let's have a bit of a recap here and see where it changes. A lot of repetition, like 3 times it's almost the same on the repetition. But let's have a look at it. 3, 4, B. Surprise. That's bar 24. Ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will, as the sun will. Now here, B flat over F. If we were doing this properly, you'd have a bar chord there. Now I've tabbed it a lot easier than that. I've just tabbed the 3 fingers and not the bass note, so you don't have to bar. Whoa-hey, this is easy. That's the trickiest chord in the song, and it's essentially an A chord moved up by 1. So we get to that from ever just as sure as the sun will rise. And then back to the exact same. Bar 28 is exactly the same as bar 12. The Eva Cassidy move. Can't wait to teach that one. Definitely going to be doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's such a beautiful one. That's what that is. Totally stolen from. From there, verse 2, chorus 2, and even the outro, we've done before. It's exactly the same as what we've done before. So let's have a recap from the middle 8, which in its own way is the trickiest section, but probably I don't think it's as tricky as the end of the chorus. I think the end of the chorus is worse. So we'll have a recap through everything, but middle 8 on its own first. So this would go from neither one prepared, Beauty and the Beast. Ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Eva Cassidy move. Very similar to Blackbird. I also nicked it from Blackbird again as well. Okay. And then verse 2. Okay, so this is exactly the same as from bar 5, but we're actually on bar 29. 3, 4. Tale as old as time. Old as song, song. Bittersweet and strange, finding you can thumb if you can. Keep all those notes down when you play this melody. Keeping all the other notes down. You were wrong. Blackbird move. Certain as the sun, rising in the east. Tricky bits. And from there, it's plain sailing. It is definitely the chorus, what I'd call the chorus section. Because it doesn't really follow exact song structure of what you'd expect from a chorus. But from bar 37, which is the same as from bar 13, let's play this on its own because I think this is the trickiest section and I promised you we would go over it again. Let's have a look one more time. This includes the trickiest move in the song. 3, 4. shoulders rhyme. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, bar 43. Stolen directly from the song, although by this point in the version, basically from bar 29, if you wanted to play along to the original, you'd have to move the capo up 2 frets because the song transposes key. I didn't want to put a key change in this song because it would mean learning everything that you've done again on the repetition, which is a bit of a nightmare for fingerstyle. But this is how we'd play the ending. Okay, and then we have a sort of simplified. As old as time, song as old as rhyme. Just a simplified version of it, where we're sort of plucking each chord once. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so we've got a few extra new moves in this section from bar 43. Bar 43. Tricky little move. I'm just conscious of my recording time and we're going to run out here a little bit, so that was a little rush through. Let me walk you through it one more time from bar 43. Descending bass notes. Don't even have to move your third finger there if you kept it on the F note. Beauty and the Beast. Outro exactly the same as the intro. And then a strum of a C chord to finish. Really well done if you have got this far, even in the video, never mind in playing it. Thank you so much for the support and wanting to dig this kind of song. I've done a full cover of this, so you need to study that as well, the full playthrough, to really get the structure and what it sounds like. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you've watched this far, I'm presuming you've purchased the tab sheet to go with it, so thank you for the support of that as well. This has been a lot of fun. I'm hoping to do a lot of these sort of more in-depth fingerstyle tutorials where we have the melody and the chords underneath it. Thank you for the support and check out my other videos. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and check out loads of other fingerstyle tutorials when you do. They're all on my website and YouTube channel, and we have a full fingerstyle course coming in September of 2017. So watch out for that one. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you again in another lesson.